Welcome everyone to Power Up with the Design Challenge with the Solar Decathlon. Today with me, I have Holly Carr, Acting Solar Decathlon Director from the Department of Energy. Hi, Holly. My name is Rachel Romero. I'm your Competition Manager from the National Renewable Energy Laboratory. And also with us today is Zachery Peterson, Assistant Competition Manager. Hey, Zach. All right. We have quite the agenda for you today. We're going to go over some introductions. We have a competition overview. We're going to talk about the timeline and summary of dates kind of in general, give you a task overview, talk about the divisions and contests, and talk through the evaluation process so that you have all the details you need to get started in the design challenge. We'd be happy to take questions via email whenever you've watched this webinar. So with that, it's my pleasure to turn this over to Holly Carr, our Acting Solar Decathlon Director. Holly?
Thanks, Rachel. Let's head on over to the next slide, if you would. So we'll start off with why Design Challenge. And really, this opportunity for students is so fantastic because it gives them the opportunity to work with real world projects and have real world experience while they're still in school. Next slide. The competition is really an opportunity to build connections. The students who participate absolutely build connections with professionals in their career fields, both through the event as jurors and also through our Career Connections event, which takes place during the weekend. Perhaps most importantly, students develop connections with one another. Students are meeting students from all over the United States and from other countries who are pursuing this same effort to learn about zero energy ready homes. And these are the folks who are going to be their colleagues, their professional colleagues moving forward. So really strong connections can be built at this event that lasts for years, for decades afterwards. Next slide, please. Now, not only will you be able to say that you have designed a zero energy ready building when you complete this competition if you're a student, but our students are also able to hone key skills that they'll need in their professional careers, like public speaking, being able to advocate for their designs, working with an interdisciplinary team. Plus, this is an event you can count on in uncertain times. As you can see here, we held our 2020 Design Challenge event remotely during the pandemic this past April, and it was fantastic. Many students noted this past year that this was the only event that wasn't canceled for them. So we are ready to go for the 2021 competition, and this will be an activity that is not canceled. Next slide, please. Now, from both the Design Challenge and the Build Challenge, Solar Decathlon alumni have taken these skills that they have honed during our competition and gone on to pursue careers in renewable energy and net zero buildings. From a scientist at a startup supporting low carbon design decisions to a designer leading the way on zero energy schools, our alumni are truly living the dream of high performance buildings powered by renewables. You can learn more about our Solar Decathlon alumni on our website and especially at our hashtag SD Living the Dream blog series. Next slide. I think this is where I turn it over to Rachel, and she is going to provide us with more details about the competition.
Great, thank you, Holly. We appreciate your contributions.
You bet.
So for the competition overview, just want to go over again the competition. So you're taking part in the Design Challenge, and that's what we're going to talk about specifically today. So we have 7 divisions. The 3 residential are suburban and urban single family, as well as attached housing. Then in commercial, we have our new retail building division, which we're very excited about, office building, elementary school, and mixed use multifamily. So those are the 7 divisions in which teams compete. We also have the Build Challenge running concurrently. And there's the 2020 Build Challenge will be concluding this year, as well as 2023 kind of getting started. And you can learn more about that online. Both challenges compete in the same set of 10 contests. And we're going to talk more about those 10 contests here today. So just to give you an idea of the overall competition timeline and how the two fit together, in case you're interested in participating in future Build Challenge competitions. 2021 Design Challenge runs annually, and it is a 1 to 2 semester project. Some teams begin in the fall, sometimes teams begin in the spring. And we have a short application phase, you do your design phase, and then we have the competition event. We repeat that annually. Build Challenge will be doing some recruiting this year, as well as concluding the 2020 Build Challenge. And there are opportunities if your team is confident and really enjoys the competition to transition over to Build Challenge from Design Challenge, or some of our Build Challenge teams can transition over to Design Challenge. And we'd be happy to take questions through our email box if you have those as well. So most importantly, the rules outline all the competition details you'll need. So in the rules, you'll find a description of the design challenge, which we're going to go over here today. We're going to go through all of this today. We have important dates, and those important dates are really big milestones to keep in mind as we go through things. The division requirements. So what is a suburban single family home, and what are the requirements around it? What is an attached housing versus mixed use multifamily? As well as the energy requirements for those building types. Then we have the Design Challenge contest criteria, which Zach is going to go over, listed in detail. Those contests are so important for teams to be very familiar with. The evaluation process and how teams will be evaluated and compete in the competition. Finally, at the end of that, we have instructions on deliverables, the requirements, and the deadlines for each of the deliverables. And don't forget to check out at the very end a really big list of resources to help you inform your design decisions. If you're looking for the rules, they can be found at solardecathlon.gov under Design Challenge Quick Links. And we hope you open those up today and read through them and learn more about the program. So a quick task overview if you're ready to get started in the Design Challenge. Again, read the Design Challenge rules. We cannot stress that enough. Everything you need to know is in the Design Challenge rules. Form a multidisciplinary team. So you should be looking for a team that has not just architects and not just engineers, but architects, engineers, construction management, a variety of disciplines, an energy modeler, maybe landscape architecture, interior design. And you want to form that multidisciplinary team to ensure your team's success in the competition. Also take a look, we have many of our 2020 winning team presentations available on the website, the solardecathlon.gov, for teams to look at so you can see what success means in the competition. Then make sure to submit a team application, which we'll talk about a little bit, and register all the team members under one team on the project site. There is more information in the rules on forming a team and what teams look like. Complete the on-demand building science training online, or provide confirmation from the team's faculty lead that equivalent training is part of the student's curriculum. So you'll need to do this by our February deadline, but really have a strong background in building science. Then start your work with a design partner to develop project criteria. We are highly encouraging our teams to find a design partner, and I'll talk a little bit more about that shortly. Then engage with industry. Industry partners are so important to each of our teams. This could be a local architecture engineering firm, a local energy modeler, manufacturers of products who give inputs to the team to help them learn more about a project. and the parts and pieces of a building. Make sure you continue to watch all the competition webinars that are posted to our YouTube channel. And then attend design challenge check-ins. So we will have, starting in about October or November of the competition year, about monthly check-ins based on the timeline to help teams be successful and answer questions. We will send updates and announcements through the project site as well, so make sure you're getting those. Finally, ensure your project is compliant with the requirements that you've read in the rules, and submit all materials well in advance of the deadlines. Successful teams always make sure their deliverables are in on time. So let's look at the timeline. So the design challenge rules have been released, and now teams are welcome to get started on their project at any time. Each team does need to complete a team application and submit that with their $100 fee by October 20th. Late team applications will not be accepted. If you're interested and your team has some preliminary design information, you could submit a project pitch by December 1st. Then we will release some updates to the rules in January 2021, but they should be very minor and for clarification purposes. February 16th, you can submit a project proposal, and we'll go over that more detail. March 30th is your final design portfolio, and this is the whole design project in one package. We do have 2 deadlines after that to submit your presentation information. And then the Design Challenge competition event is April 16th through 18th, 2021. So all of these are in the rules. Forming a team. Each team must be associated with a collegiate institution and include a faculty lead. A faculty could counsel multiple teams. So we have a example of what a team may look like. Each team should have a student team lead and then have at least 3 students. There is not a maximum number of student team members. But here's kind of an example of what a team structure may look like. Again, the strongest teams are multidisciplinary. If interested and to achieve that multidisciplinary status, we encourage, if needed, to have multiple collegiate institutions combined together to form a team. And hopefully new in 2021, a mentorship program will be piloted to aid some of our first year teams. So reach out to us for more information on that. Design partners. We're very excited. Last year we piloted design partners, and teams are very strongly encouraged to engage a design partner. This partner would provide the team with basic project information. So they're typically an owner or a organization that is working on buildings. And we kind of expect them to provide about 30 hours of engagement with the team to give feedback on design programming, look at schematics, and give feedback. And for this great partnership, we are excited to invite a representative from each design partner organization to attend the competition event. So we'd encourage you to start thinking today about who your design partner could be. And here's an example. So Virginia Tech, Washington Area Architecture Center, it was the collegiate institution that partnered with the city of Alexandria. The project was the renovation of the City Hall in Alexandria, and the team partnered together to provide design inputs to the city of Alexandria and their design partner. Very successful partnership. The city of Alexandria was very forward thinking, and this provided a great opportunity for both the team and the design partner to learn more about zero energy buildings. Industry engagement. So We also like teams to engage with industry professionals to provide this real world perspective on proposed solutions. And then the professionals can provide guidance for selecting and integrating building systems into the design. Successful teams will often engage with several industry professionals who could be builders, architects, city officials, contractors, developers, energy auditors, codes, construction, building materials. So across the whole, there could be many types of industry partners. This partnership will help the team in their decision-making processes and aid in the review of their project, and just ensure that overall you have a real market-ready project. So design should meet the following requirement when you start working on your design. It does need to be either original design, it needs to improve or conceive of a new design for a design partner, or you can retrofit or modernize an existing building. So lots of variety there. We love to see retrofits and have started to see a lot more of those as well. You will need to follow all applicable local, state, and national building codes or standards. And we really, English units of measurement are required because our jurors and reviewers are using English units, and that will help them complete your review. So in terms of divisions, we have, again, 3 residential and 4 commercial. And here's some of the requirements. We typically say building size and then lot size to kind of put a bracket around and help our jurors evaluate buildings comparatively. Each has some sort of additional requirements in terms of spaces. Most of our residential buildings are required to follow the Zero Energy Ready Home program. And then we have EUI targets for our commercial buildings that are posted in the rules. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Zach Peterson, Assistant Competition Manager, to talk about the contest.
Thanks, Rachel. So as Rachel mentioned, all teams compete across all of the 10 contests, and teams must do well in each of the contests to succeed. I'll provide more detail about each one of these contests in the following slides. If I can get them to move, there we go. So, architecture. This contest evaluates the building's architecture for creativity, overall integration of systems, and the ability to deliver outstanding aesthetics and functionality. Architecture marries aesthetics with sound building science, energy efficiency, natural ventilation, energy production, and resilience. Cutting-edge energy efficient buildings are better positioned to achieve meaningful market acceptance if integrated into architectural design that creatively meet or exceed aesthetic and functionality expectations of the industry and customers. So next, engineering. This contest evaluates the effective design of high-performance engineering systems, technologies, and techniques through the use of energy efficiency and renewable energy. Effective designs for building systems incorporate careful considerations of structural performance, occupant comfort, environmental conditions, and regulatory constraints. Heating, cooling, ventilation, and water system types and design should reflect different technology and integration options, including analysis of implications for energy and environmental performance, upfront and long-term costs, as well as reliability. Opportunities for water efficiency should be reflected in smart engineering solutions for domestic hot water delivery and landscaping and irrigation, as well as plumbing fixture and landscape choices. Energy consumption and production is evaluated against specific site constraints and designed accordingly. Next, market analysis. This contest evaluates the building's appeal, affordability, and attainability to its stated market. This includes the likelihood of adoption by intended occupants and the construction industry for impactful cost-effective design, excuse me. To ensure uptake in the market and drive both demand and supply, effective energy-efficient designs take into account the interests of intended building occupants and owners, as well as the construction industry. Financial analysis should include estimated cost of construction, monthly utilities, and maintenance to determine an overall cost of ownership and provide a basis for comparison to the financial capabilities of the target market and overall affordability. So next, durability and resilience. This contest evaluates the building's long-term ability to endure local environmental conditions and anticipate, withstand, respond to, and recover from local disruptions. So to get more specific, durability or flexibility of the building's envelope to maintain long-term performance despite environmental conditions. Whereas resilient design enables the building to maintain critical operations during disruptions and quickly restore normal operations within the building. The benefits of investing in highly efficient buildings are compounded by also investing in resilient design. Teams must demonstrate how their buildings effectively address all of these challenges. So next, embodied environmental impact. This contest evaluates the full life cycle of the building from cradle to grave. Circular economy is a common phrase, and for a building refers to an economic system in which buildings are designed with a focus on minimizing environmental impact from material extraction and manufacture to transportation, construction, and building use, while also considering reclamation, refurbishment, repair, reuse, recycle, etc. of the materials throughout its life cycle. Within the sphere of a circular economy, various measurements and calculations are used to quantify the environmental impacts that are embodied in a building at each life cycle stage. And as buildings become more efficient, especially in the use phase, the environmental impact during this stage actually decreases. Consequently, the other life stages, such as material production, manufacturing, construction processes, etc., become larger contributors to the building's total environmental impact, and therefore will become more important to address. The building industry must go beyond the occupancy stage to address these impacts in all life cycle stages. Next, integrated performance. This contest evaluates how effectively the whole building performance is optimized through passive and active strategies across multiple building disciplines. An integrated design utilizes architectural and engineering elements that complement each other to help the building achieve optimal performance. For example, a building that is properly oriented will effectively capture passive heating, cooling, ventilation, and lighting. Without one design element, for example, building orientation, additional energy consuming systems are required to provide the dependent design element for interior conditions. In other words, mechanical ventilation and heating and cooling. In a truly integrated design, when any element is altered or removed from the building, energy consumption of the overall building could, as a result, increase. Next, let's talk about the occupant experience. This contest evaluates how the building optimizes the occupant's quality of life while also meeting the energy performance goals of the design. Technologies and appliances should be thoughtfully selected and integrated into the overall design. This includes strategies for efficient comfort, health, and safety that address occupant expectations. Comfort and environmental quality. This contest evaluates the building's capability to deliver intended comfort and indoor environmental quality. Well-designed buildings should provide both a comfortable and healthy indoor environment. For occupants to be comfortable, the building must be able to control temperature and relative humidity levels, as well as reduce exterior noise infiltration. To provide a healthy indoor environment, the design must include a comprehensive approach to indoor air quality that incorporates ventilation, filtration, dilution, and material selection strategies. Next, energy performance. This contest evaluates reduction of whole building energy consumption, the ability to generate clean energy that is needed on site, and interaction of the building with the local grid operations. Effective whole building energy analysis and decision-making is the foundation for energy performance. Energy performance incorporates energy consumption of the building, as well as this renewable energy generation and the grid services that the building could potentially provide. And finally, presentation. Successful evaluation of each contest depends on the team's ability to accurately and effectively convey its design and approach to its relevant audiences. In order to inspire future generations, incumbent industry leaders, and the public at large to pursue energy efficiency and renewable energy opportunities, the value proposition must be clearly conveyed, both verbally and visually. A smart design on its own is insufficient. Presentation quality can dramatically affect customer perception and the likelihood of innovation being adopted. As such, each jury evaluates not just the criteria of the individual contest, but also the team's presentation of the design solution. And with that, I will pass that back to Rachel to continue with the evaluation scale.
Thanks, Zach. So each of those contests are then evaluated on the following scale, which is listed in the rules. So we've simplified it to 1 through 5 scale this year, from missing expectations to eclipses expectations. And just note that meets expectations is a 3. So just to be familiar with that evaluation process as we move forward. All right, we are now going to go through how all the parts and pieces of your submissions fit together and how we result in a so first is the team application. You'll need to log on to our project site and submit a $100 application fee, which is non-refundable. This needs to be completed by October 20th, 2020. And each team may submit 1 team application per division. See the rules, section 3.1 for more information. Some teams may choose to have an internal group of students compete against each other and then submit 1 project at the submission deadline. We love to see that, and that is more than welcome. Your team application. So you can go to solardecathlon.gov, and under About a section, the About section, you can hit Apply. The blue Apply button will redirect you to our project site. Once on this site, you will click the Register button, and that will take you to fill out a form and into the project site. The team leader for each team will fill out this information, which registers them. Then the team leader invites other members to register via the Add Team Member link, which is on the left side of the screen under the quick links. Once your team leader has filled out the application form, you submit the application. Please make sure to hit submit, and you'll be redirected to pay the $100 application fee. So now that you've completed your team application, we will be announcing our participating teams, and then teams can submit their project pitch. You are highly encouraged to submit the project pitch. This will include some information that you'll input into the project site, as well as a 2-page project summary. So here's the 2-page project summary. A template is provided. An example is also on the project site. And we encourage teams to follow this format, and you'll be submitting this project pitch at this project summary at each deliverable phase, and you can improve it each time. So teams will receive initial feedback on compliance with division requirements and formatting. A lot of first-time teams find this valuable to get that kind of feedback, and as they're learning to compete in the competition, it's also an opportunity to interact with the project site and understand what submission is. Again, this is optional. Teams are not required to submit this. Highly encouraged. Next is the project proposal. This is our first required submission. Contained in the project proposal, you will enter updated project information on the project site. You will include an updated project summary, so those 2 pages, and then you'll submit a design concept. And the design concept will describe your target market, what are the design constraints, the goals you have for your project, and a timeline for completing the final design portfolio. So how does your team plan to meet all of the contest criteria by the March 30th deadline? So when you submit the project proposal, we will select 10 finalist teams from each division to advance to the competition event. Teams that are not selected as finalists can continue to participate, but will not get a presentation slot. You will get a poster session slot. So we encourage all teams to finish the final design portfolio. So now we're on to submitting the final design portfolio. This is due March 30th. Again, you'll be updating some project info, which will be entered into the project site. You'll have, again, that 2-page project summary. You'll submit a design narrative, which includes all the information about the 10 contests in which you're competing. And then if your team chooses to, you can submit supplemental documentation. This is optional. Often it's additional building plans, energy modeling information, and any kind of supplemental information that didn't make it into your design narrative. This year we've separated out. We are going to do a presentation recording again as well, just like what we're doing here. And that's due April 6th, 1 week after your design portfolio. And then 1 week later, we'll need your presentation slides. And if your team chooses, an optional film about your project and an optional poster. Then we reached the ultimate event, the competition event, April 16th through 18th, 2021, where finalist teams present to division juries who will evaluate the team's design portfolio and their presentation and select division winners. We do have first, second, and honorable mention to give away in each of the divisions. So 7 first place winners are selected. You can see our beautiful trophies there from last year. We love to give these away in each of our divisions. And then each of those 7 first place winners give a grand presentation. So it's a short presentation that's given in front of the entire competition. And from there we select our residential and commercial grand winners and give away our 2 grand winner trophies, which is really exciting, and we love to see that our teams win those. So that's how we get to our 2 grand winners and kind of the whole process. And this is described all in the rules as well. I'd like to talk about some keys to success. There's a lot of things here, but successful teams know the details of the competitions, and they know this because they read the competition guide. It has everything that will be considered throughout this. Successful teams communicate well as a team. They know who's responsible for what, and they really execute on that. Successful teams submit deliverables on time. The organizers require these submissions to help teams stay on track. So make sure they're on time or even a little early. We love to see that. Successful teams learn from professionals. They are working with a design partner and they're working with industry partners who provide guidance and reviews, suggestions for improvements, and make potentially donations to teams. Successful teams have a good story behind why their design is the way it is and have considered all the multidisciplinary aspects. That story is really important. Successful teams explain what they're doing well to the jurors, to the other participants. If you created something really great for this competition, but you didn't communicate it well, you won't score well. So successful teams will agree on a joint vision and design goals and program at the very beginning of the project. So if you're getting started, make sure you're starting with those joint vision and goals today. Our successful teams also have a strong team leader. That team leader is getting information from the project site and is communicating the things that are coming from the organizers out to your team. They have effective team meetings. We've seen some of those posted on social media of how effective team meetings are run and whiteboarding and all of that. So ensure you have an agenda and clearly defined outcomes for each team meeting. Let's see here, what else do we have on here? So successful teams really are open to other recommendations for design input and project implementation. They create a schedule for getting this done that corresponds to the schedule that I just went over. And finally, successful teams have a lot of fun. They enjoy the work together as they progress towards their final design. So we hope you'll join us for the design challenge and get your team application in today. We'd be happy to take your questions anytime at sddesign@nrel.gov. And please check out our social media tags, SD Design and #Solar Decathlon, and our website. We hope you have a great day and we look forward to talking with you soon.